This is Empire Sports Alliance, Unfiltered. No fluff, no filters, just the real side of sports. We're talking athletes, coaches, agents, doctors, executives, the people behind the scenes who actually move the needle. From building careers to surviving the grind to winning off the field. This is where real conversations collide.
Welcome to another episode of Empire Sports Alliance Unfiltered. I'm Ronnie, I'm the Wealth Guy. Got my co-host Eric here.
Everyone, Eric, sports concierge medicine for you. And today I'm excited to introduce, I'm going to say a good friend of mine, Steve Pate. Steve is a professional golfer. He's been on the tour from a number of years, went to UCLA. You know, he's going to take us through a colorful journey that he's been on. So, Steve, welcome. Why don't you just kind of give us a little bit of the background and how you got into golf and where the journey took you?
Well, I got into it. I mean, as a kid, played every sport. Yeah, but like everybody my age did. Yeah, I'm 65 years old. There was no specializing in sports at that time as a kid. But in high school, I narrowed it down to golf because I really wanted to play baseball, but I was a pretty good pitcher with no velocity and a good infielder that couldn't hit. So I didn't see a future in that. And I was better than everybody else at golf. So I kind of focused on that. Thought because I could beat everybody in high school that I was the shit. And then I went to college and found out that wasn't so true. Played at UCLA, went up. It was a good, solid Division I program. Freshman year was okay. Sophomore year was okay. My junior year, I played awful. Didn't even make the traveling squad and had to reassess what I was doing because I wanted to continue. And I had the self-delusional belief that I was gonna be successful. I never really doubted that, no matter how poorly I played. And I kind of restructured technique in my junior year in college. And then senior year, I had a great year, was first team All-American. Got on tour. I went through the qualifying tournament that fall and made it. And thank God, because if you don't make it at that point, then you're playing mini tours where you can't make any money, or you're going overseas where you really can't make any money. And, it's a real grind. So I was fortunate I got through and continued to get better.
Wait, so when you decided to go college to pro, I mean, they don't have a draft or any of that kind of stuff. So is it just you go to a tournament and you qualify and then you make the tour that way?
Yeah, but I played 4 years. I had a fifth year I went back for a fifth year because I knew if I didn't go back down and graduate, I never would. And we weren't married at the time, but my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, had another year. I said, I'll stick around. This isn't so bad. And I played mini tour events on Mondays, my fifth year of college, which basically you just send them a check and you're playing for your own money. And you get 80 guys sending in a few $100s and you play for 80% of it. It's not a great financial thing, but it's how you get better. I mean, you compete. That's not where anybody wants to be, but it's the stepping stone.
Okay.
And then, to get on PGA Tour, there's at that point in time, it's a little different now, but there was a national qualifying tournament.
What year are we talking in terms of getting on the beach?
In fall of 1984.
84,
I went through the qualifying school, and made it. So my first year was 1985. And I started out doing absolutely nothing. And middle of May, maybe my 8th tournament, tied for first, lost in the playoff. It's like, oh, God, I can do this. That, and had a couple other good finishes, kept my status, and then just continued to play better over the next several years.
How many tournaments are you playing a year back then?
I was playing 30 to 33. I played a lot. Yeah, I play. Well, we didn't play for as much money. So, hey, you don't play, you can't, you don't want to make any money. But it was fun. I mean, I absolutely loved what I did. And my wife was able to travel with me. And, it was pretty much my childhood dream.
Yeah.
So from a financial perspective, then, Steve, to your point, and again, back then, first year, 85, completely different than what you see today, from a
Correct.
financial perspective, say, okay?
Oh yeah, no,
What
it's not
changed?
even. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were two big jumps in money on the PGA Tour. One of them came in the late '60s with Arnold Palmer, and the other one came in the '90s with Tiger Woods. It's not like we were playing for peanuts, but it's not like it is now. I mean, I finished 50 something on the money list my rookie year and made $90,000. I mean, I thought I had the world by the balls. So it was great. I was 24 years old and made a down payment on a house at the end of my rookie year. So,
Wait, can we pause? Are you having problems hearing him?
He's fairly quiet, yes.
I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I can turn volume up on this.
I don't know if it's the volume or more if it's uploading and there's a lag.
Okay, I just hit the volume to max. Does it make any difference?
I mean, you sound fine now to me.
Okay.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Sorry.
It's me. Technology hates me.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Steve, in terms of what we're talking about?
Oh, I mean, I finished 50 something on the money list, made $90,000, made a down payment on a house. I mean, I thought I had the world by the balls. I was 23, 24 years old. It was great. Certainly wasn't life-changing money, but it was good.
So wait, you finished what place and got 90?
I want to say 54th. I'm guessing I could go. There's a way to find out, but I think that's right.
But someone finishing 54th now on the tour, what are they going to make?
Well, let me tell you, a couple million? I don't know. Let me see if I can figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't really get caught up in what they're making compared to what we were because it doesn't matter to me.
What was the coverage like when you played in '85? I mean, now it's like every tournament is on TV and all that stuff. Was it the same way in terms of the popularity of it?
No. Well, okay. 50th on the money list made 3.3 million.
3.3?
It's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, there was no Golf Channel, so there was no Thursday, Friday coverage.
Yeah.
They covered the back nine on Saturday and Sunday, basically. Viewership numbers were solid. Again, back then, like now, we couldn't compete with football in the fall. I remember it was a very loyal, not a huge viewership like football or basketball or baseball, but a very loyal following what we did have. The same people would tune in every single week. And the advertisers liked us because it was a good place to sell high-end goods.
Who are the top advertisers at that point? Was it Rolex? Any of that kind of stuff? Or
Rolex, luxury car models, financial firm. They were catering to their target audience was a higher wealth class than a lot of other sports. So we were valuable to them in that respect. And the tournament, the companies that sponsored our tournaments, our face time with their clients was valuable to them as well. Yeah, because we'd play with our customers and executives in the pro-ams, do sponsor tent visits. That was our value to them.
And you said, again, you're playing some 30-plus tournaments at that point, right? A year.
Yes.
How do you prepare and train? I mean, what I see these days in terms of the amount of hours you have to spend on the golf course, like you live on a golf course, right? I mean, how many hours did you train a day?
6 days a week, 8 to 10 hours.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned in terms of 30 plus, tournaments, a year. What about preparation? What about training? How many days are you spending? How's that kind of fit into the schedule?
Well, yeah, I mean, I played and practiced pretty much every day I was home too. The knowledge of training has become much more efficient. There's a lot more knowledge on what's effective training. I mean, back when I was playing, some guys ran, I didn't. I lifted weights and stretched, and that was about. But it was just general fitness. There was nothing. The knowledge of being specific wasn't there. It's different now. Guys don't play as much. They spend more time working on their bodies because they know what to do and spend the time productively. We were kind of searching in the dark, so it was time better spent playing and practice.
That makes
and
sense.
Also, I think careers are going to be shorter now because of the speed. That's equipment has made speed more important. So guys are just foolish if they're not chasing speed, but it's more violent and it's harder on your body.
When you say speed, you're talking about just the speed of the ball,
club hit speed.
But
I mean, my club hit speed, I was longer than most at the time, when I was younger. And my club hit speed was 112, 113. I mean, that's bare minimum now. I mean, guys are swinging 125. Part of it's the training, but also you didn't get as much of an advantage then because of the equipment with the speed. You gained less distance than you do now, and your dispersion was terrible because the equipment was not designed to handle that. There have been a lot of technological changes in golf balls and golf clubs that allow that speed to be beneficial.
But I've known you now, what, 10, 12 years, roughly?
Seems like 20.
Yeah, I'm not that old. But ever since I've known you, you've always been in tune with your body. You've been very good at whether it's using the mass suit or, doing all your rolling exercises and this and that. When did you learn, like, okay, I need to start taking care of myself. I need to invest in myself so that I can have a much longer career?
After a major car accident in 1996, I met.
You and your driving, do you still a driver's license?
I do, and and I'm in Florida, and they renew it for 10 years at a time. I'm golden.
Holy shit! God help everyone.
Hey, I drive well compared to what I've seen down here on I-90.
So was this accident one where you launched your car? Because I remember that one.
No, that was far more recent. No, I drove up the back of a truck coming home from Phoenix. I was going about 75, and he was going about 25, and I did not slow down until I broke his back axle.
That will slow you down, I believe. Yeah. Okay.
Very quickly, yes. I broke my wrist. I broke my hand. I broke my face. Got generally beat up, and I was out for a year. And at that point, because I didn't want that to be the end. So at that point, I had to start taking more care. Because I had a couple other injuries, a car accident in 91. I wasn't driving, by the way. It screwed up my left hip, and just wear and tear. But 96, so I was 35 when that happened. So now I'm getting into my later 30s, and I'm not bulletproof anymore. So I had to start doing things to prolong my career. But when you're 25, you're bulletproof. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Right.
And then reality sets in.
Yeah.
So then again, so you were out for a year, and then now you continue to play, right?
Yeah, I played, because that happened in January. I think I played the first time I played was in November. I went down to Australia. I hadn't played for a year, and I was finally able to, and I went down there and played a couple of events, and then started up again full time in 97.
When did Tiger come in? When did Tiger join the tour?
About right then.
Right then, right? Okay. So
Yeah, because
you played against him as well then, huh?
Not a lot. I mean, because I only had about 5 more years of full-time playing at that point. But yeah, we partnered in 2 matches in the 99 Ryder Cup. So
right on.
I got to know him a little bit before he turned pro, or maybe it was his rookie year. His girlfriend at the time was in Santa Barbara, and he was hanging out in Santa Barbara where my brother plays. So I got to know him a little bit then.
It seems like your driving abilities are about the same, right?
He's trying to catch up with. I taught him a lot in 99. Yes.
How did you get the name Volcano then?
That was one of our tour officials, because my propensity to erupt, but then get over it quickly. But the eruptions could be spectacular.
Can you run through an example for us and the audience? I know there's several examples, but just one is okay.
There are. I'm trying to narrow it down. Oh, well, the last really good one was at a senior PGA when I was 50, my first year. I had an outside chance to win. And I made triple bogey on the last hole. Second shot drove in a hazard. Second shot hit the bleacher. The third shot hit the bleacher, bounced into another hazard. I thought it was going to be off the edge of the green. And I may have picked up a sign over my head, the sign that was about 8 feet tall, throw it in the water. My caddy talked me down from the ledge at that point.
I mean, the game is really, it can be, that's what everybody says. If you're a pro or if you're just casually playing, it can be a very, very frustrating experience, right? How do you overcome that?
Maturity. Yeah. Some of us never do. Yeah, it's interesting, because there are other guys like me who get really hot and then get over it quickly. It's when you don't get over it quickly that you're running into problems. There are other guys who base their self-worth on what they shot that day, and go into really dark places, and that's far worse. It may not look as bad outwardly, but it's far worse.
But it can happen to anybody, right? In terms of like, really, you don't know in terms of the day. It just seems like a sport. You could practice what you kind of mentioned, all this time that you put out there and all that stuff, but you could just have a day where, shit just doesn't work, right?
Right. And you never get it right, which is part of, it's part of what attracts us to what we do. You never get it right. You can always get better at something. Even, I mean, I still love to play and practice, even though I really don't competitively much, you can always get better at something, and it's difficult.
Right.
So it's,
I mean, you remember you gave me a set of clubs and we went out one day. Now, I said the clubs were flawed and did not work the way they should, but yeah, it's just about practicing and playing more.
It is. It takes a lot of repetitions, and I've seen a few people that are just naturals at it, pick it up and do it pretty well immediately, but very few.
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples in terms of the ones you've seen that pick it up pretty quickly?
I mean, I've seen some kids that do, a lot of ex-hockey players do. Ex-baseball players have better swings than the hockey players, but the hockey players, since the end of that stick is similar to the end of a golf club, they're more aware of what's happening down below. They have better club face control than the baseball players, although there are a lot of very good ex-baseball players that are good golfers.
Is there a particular body type, height, whatnot that says is better for a golfer from a male as well?
Well, it used to be the belief was tall people were not going to be able to play good golf. When I got on tour, I'm looking up and down the range my first tournament. I felt like a giant. There's a bunch of midgets out here. The common thought was, 5'8", 5'9" was a great height to do it. Well, look at the golfers now. I mean, Rory's 5'9", but most of them are, there's so many of them that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". These are big guys. And Tiger made golf cool. So athletes that would have gone into other sports stuck with golf. We got bigger, better athletes playing golf.
So I got a follow-up question to that. Talking about, preparation, athletes, etc. John Daly, what can you tell us about him?
He's extremely gifted.
Just a natural?
I like John a lot. John works at it. John has always worked at it pretty hard, too. He plays pretty hard, too, but he's always worked at it more than people give him credit for. And he takes pride in what he does. He's a big draw. People relate to him. He's the common guy. His galleries are enormous and boisterous, and it's fun. It's fun to be around.
He does look fun to be around.
He's great. He's great. Yeah. Yeah. It's the first time I saw him, his swing is nothing anybody would teach, but it's like, damn, he's just really gifted. Anybody that can have a move that's that long and has that many moving parts and be that good at it is extremely gifted.
Hey, and Happy Gilmore did it.
When John about the equipment, Steve, in terms of how's the equipment changed, in terms of like over the years? I mean, golf is obviously an old sport. How has that changed?
Well, they've gotten better at making lighter shafts that perform well. The original graphite lightweight shafts didn't perform very well, not consistently. They've gotten good at making lightweight steel. They've made good at making lightweight graphite that performs well. Club heads are bigger and more forgiving, and the ball is vastly different. When I got out of college and got on tour, it surprised me because I hit it far, not crazy, but I hit it farther than most, and I hit it higher than everybody. And when I got on tour, they come out of college and they're trying to hit it lower to keep your misses in play, because the balls used to spin and curve a lot more. Now control was more important. Now with the more forgiving clubs, and especially the ball that doesn't curve and doesn't spin as much, you're foolish not to try to hit it hard. The old balls used to be every mile an hour club head speed you gained a yard and a half of distance. Now when your speed's over about 115, you're getting 4.5 yards for every mile an hour club head speed. So yes, it makes perfect sense to chase speed. Fortunately, I don't have any anymore. I'm trying not to lose what I have left.
Do you still play on a regular basis, though?
Recreationally, I play on a regular basis. I'm going to play 4 times this year, 4 events is my plan.
Yeah.
I backed it down to 7 2 years ago. I just, 60, see, I'm 65 now. 62 is different than 50. I wasn't getting any better. It's like, okay. And I was better at semi-retirement than I thought I would be. And I was going to do the same last year. And I got diagnosed with cancer in April and played two. Four's enough.
How much? So, did you take any time off after the diagnosis, or?
Yeah, I did chemo and radiation last summer. And yeah, I played this year in February and felt like a truck. I got run over by a truck. Strength is mostly back, stamina is not. I played again 3 or 4 weeks ago and it was better. I'm going to try to play again in June.
Did it help you mentally to kind of say, all right, I want to get back on the course. I'm not done with life. I'm not done playing. This is a goal and I'm going to make it happen.
Percent. Yeah, the diagnosis was not good. And the first doctor I talked to said I would be dead. He offered a high risk, low reward surgery that I opted not to do. But apparently I'm not dead yet. And every set of scans I get keeps getting better. But yeah, it gave me something to look forward to. My daughter got married a month ago. All kinds of things to look forward to. And throughout the whole process, I have met people. They were given a year to live. One of them 20 years ago, one of them 30 years ago. Some of them are going through it right now and doing very well. And the one thing they all had in common was a good attitude and just, this isn't going to happen to me.
Well, you've always had a strong, good personality.
It's funny because obviously in golf, it's immensely mental. You go through visualization and what you're going to do and your mind takes you a lot of places that I've seen people do remarkable things on the golf course. I've done a few myself that I go, how the hell did I do that? And at the time, you're dead calm and it's not like you're confident it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right. So your mind can do powerful things. Western medicine really readily accepts that your mind can cause problems, but they're a little reluctant to accept that it can help solve your problems too.
Well, they have
and whether or not whatever that looks like, whether it looks like, hey, I'm going to live 3 years instead of one, or I'm going to live 12 years instead of one, or the cancer's going to go away. Your mind can take you to places that they don't want to acknowledge. They have a lot of the answers, but they don't have all of them.
Yeah. So obviously visualization was a thing to help you. What was some of the other stuff you did? Because you've always thought outside the box. You've always, I remember you fell backstage and broke your wrist.
No, that was my forearm.
Yeah.
Tragic consequence.
Yeah. We had you back playing like 6 weeks later with a healed fracture because of some of the technology and stuff. So I know you've always been open to different technologies and whatnot. What came into play with beating the cancer and treating it and addressing it a different way?
Well, daily meditations and visualizing, healing, and some other things. And one of them is called a Rife machine. It's pulsing electromagnetic frequencies. The theory being every ailment has frequency it's sensitive to. It's kind of like breaking up a kidney stone with ultrasound. You get the right frequency, solve the problems. Do I know for 100% sure that's working? No, but I know my tumor keeps shrinking, and I haven't had treatment since last August. So something I'm doing is working, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I've got a couple of backup plans in case. Obviously, the chemo shrunk it out of my lung. It was big and it was growing rapidly. I needed that, and I'm glad I did it. Now my goal is to not have to do it again.
So what have the doctors, the Western doctors, been open to what you've been doing? Have they been, no, we don't know what it's going to do, so don't do it because it could make it worse? There's
no, because I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything involving any kind of drugs or anything. I do think that anti-parasitic drugs look promising. If what I'm doing now doesn't work, If things don't continue to go the right direction, that's an option. Basically, my doctor goes, no, you can do whatever you want. Just tell me if you're doing anything medicinal in case it interacts with something else.
Right.
Yeah. No, he hadn't been resistant, but
Okay.
there's been no suggestions either.
Yeah. Good.
I'm very happy with my doctor so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been at UCLA. I've been getting great care there, and I'm very, very pleased with what happened because I was in a bad spot. It was going downhill rapidly.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well for sure.
Maybe
It's a journey. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
have you gotten in terms of like, from, previous, people that you might have played with or played, against, have you gotten support? People reach out, etc.
A lot more than I would have expected.
Really?
And,
Okay.
yeah, it's very nice. The tour, I mean, even though we're all trying to beat each other's brains in every week, it's a pretty tight community.
That's
I've
what I was
got a lot of
wondering,
friends.
because it's an individual sport, yet again, there's a camaraderie on the, on the tour, it seems like.
Yes, they're big time is. I mean, it's not just the players; it's the caddies, the tour support staff. It's
Yeah. Oh, good point. Okay.
we're a traveling circus. Everybody becomes pretty close.
Is
I mean,
there a lot of trash talking and stuff behind the scenes? Or are you guys just drinking beers and hanging out?
The drinking beers it's really been reduced on the senior tour. No, yeah, I mean the trash talking, yeah, practice rounds. Like earlier this year, I played in Naples in February. The next week we were in Boca, which is the tournament's 15 minutes from my house. And I went down there, and I didn't think I was going to get in, but I hung out the first 3 days, and then I moved up to first altar, and I go, I withdrew because I was so trashed from the week before I couldn't play. But I had the fun part of the week, all the trash talk on Tuesday and Wednesday, hanging out in the fitness trailer, hanging out in the equipment trailer, and just BSing with everybody. It was great. I got the best part of the week, and then came home.
Do people ever get at each other's throat at all? Does that happen where you're like really pissed off with somebody?
I've seen it. It's never happened to me,
Okay.
but I've seen it. There's going to be some friction at times. A lot of high achievers. Something's going to happen, but for the most part, no.
Anybody particular that you love to compete against? It's just like, I want to beat this guy.
In tournaments, no. Practice rounds, yes. Go play with your buddies and try to get in their pocket. That's fun. I do the same thing with my brother. I mean, it's
Oh, really? You within the family?
No.
Nice.
oh yeah.
What do you see from younger people getting into the sport? Again, obviously you played at UCLA, what do you see these days in terms of like, again, I think golf is the same thing from an NIL perspective that other sports are facing, etc. What do you see there in terms of what's your opinion? What's your take, comparison to when you went to school?
Yeah, obviously the NIL money wasn't there when I was.
Yeah. That didn't exist at all, right?
I mean, that's all been within the last year. I've been pretty distracted the last year.
Yes. Yes.
I know it's kind of a mess, but no, I don't know that much about it. I don't know the ins and outs. I do know at the junior level, when I was a kid, you played in your local junior golf association tournaments, your high school, what you did in high school mattered a lot. If you were going to be recruited, where you were going to go to college, high school doesn't matter at all anymore. There's a national junior tour, AGGA, that's what college coaches look at more than anything. I mean, you see kids, I know kids playing this event we have with our tournament in Houston. There's an event on Tuesdays with the kids that I always like to play in because it's fun. And I like to play with the younger kids, between 8 and 13 years old. And some of these kids, 10 years old, last time I played in it, kids said, oh yeah, I played in Scotland last year in a tournament. Go, what? You're 10. I mean, it's a great experience for the kid. I'm not a huge fan of being that specialized in one thing at 10 years old.
So we had several discussions with other athletes.
Yeah, I see too many kids. Yeah, I see too many kids that get burnt out.
Yeah. So you're all big proponent in terms of like trying different sports, right? Especially at that age.
Do it all. Yeah. And I see these kids are devastated if they're not the best. It's like, no, that doesn't seem quite right to me. It's still supposed to be fun on some level.
Yeah.
Well, okay, interesting comment. Has golf always been fun even up till now for you? Or
yes.
Okay, so you never really got burned out or like, okay, I'm done with this shit.
No. I mean, a couple of years ago when I backed it down to 7 tournaments, I was concerned that wasn't going to be enough for me. And yeah, it was. But I've been doing it since 1983. Yeah, 40 years. That's enough.
It's a pretty good career, I would say.
Long time.
Yeah. But I still like playing. I mean, I'm playing in a fun event with my brother this weekend. Like, I'm really looking forward to it.
So you now also help design golf courses, right?
Yes.
How'd you get into that? And was that your way of saying, okay, when I retire, I still want to be involved, so I'm going to go this route?
100% it was, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't see not doing anything ever. Both my parents worked till extremely advanced ages, and
Mhm.
that was the example set. Yeah, I don't want to not do anything. And it's perfect because I'm a consultant in the company. I'm not a partner. So fewer responsibilities, but the road trips are fun. They're 2 3 days instead of 3 weeks. It's a creative process that I find really fun. I learned a lot about construction. It's fascinating, all the moving parts that go into making it happen, coming up with a finished product that people like. That's the most rewarding, to hear people say, boy, that course you did is really fun, and it's really beautiful, or whatever. The positive comments are great.
What
And of
goes into
course,
this, Steve?
you know, pardon
In
me?
terms of like you just said, hey, a beautiful golf course. Is that the location of the course? Is it the course design itself? What is it that really said
It,
that's a great golf course?
It's both. Now you can take a bland setting and make it beautiful. That's that's a skill.
Okay.
The guy I work with is better at that than I am. My focus is more on strategy, difficulty, variety of holes, and more the playing part. But I've learned a lot from him too. And yeah, I like trying to do the visuals good as well. Which when I first got involved, I really didn't care. It's like, who gives a shit what it looks like? It's the work from getting it to point A to point B. But no, that's not all of it. No, a really fun process.
How
Awesome.
many courses are you doing a year and stuff?
Depends. It goes in waves, maybe 4 or 5, maybe one. Just depends. I got involved exactly in the business at exactly the wrong time in the early 2000s. My first project was with Damien on a brand new golf course. Then the bottom fell out in 2008. Nothing happened for a while. Now everything's most projects are remodels. We've done a couple, but most projects are remodels. But that's also, I mean, it's really fun.
Yeah.
New is more difficult and more involved, but remodels are no less rewarding.
What is the cost going into a development of a golf course? What are you looking at from a money perspective?
I think the cheapest you could do it now would maybe $18 million. In the early 2000s, 6. And again, it can be it can be 50.
Yeah.
Depends what the owner is willing and able to spend, and what their goal is. I mean, if it's a high end real estate development,
Yeah.
they'll spend a ton. If it's a municipal, if it's municipal, that's supposed to be just more functional and user friendly and something that the community can afford to play, it's a different animal. We've done all from high end resort to middle of the road daily fee. It depends what the owner's goals are.
Yeah. It just depends also in terms of who's financing it. Again, what's the overall purpose? As you said, if it's a private real estate
Correct.
developer for, whatever, it's
Right.
different than a
Yeah.
municipality, just having a community golf course, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the first thing we try to find out is what our owners' goals are.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do? What do you want to be?
Yeah. Because
And
also it also
go
depends
from
in
there.
terms of the clientele that you want to attract, right? I mean, again, from a location in
Yes.
terms of like the golf course it is, right? That makes sense.
Yes.
All right. So what kind of advice would you give younger kids thinking about getting into it, from taking care of themselves to the mental aspect to cross training, all that kind of stuff?
I mean, it's become, since I've seen such a transition on physical training. Yes, learn what to do to stay healthy. And again, that's them. What are their goals? Do they want to do it for fun? Do they want to do it, go play in college and, maybe get a scholarship and call it good, get your education and go from there? Do you want to be a professional? All kinds of goals for it. And I see some kids who are pretty smart, they become good in college and go to work and use business or use golf to leverage their business opportunities. Because yes, that works. So what are their goals? As far as, if they want to be a professional, stay healthy, figure out how to stay healthy and hit it really far.
And again, just like any other sport, this is not, when you say stay healthy, this is not just the working out piece. This again is, seeing people like Eric, from a physical perspective, nutrition and all that stuff. Golf is no different, right, than any other sport, be that hockey, baseball, whatnot. Is that what you see?
It's It's not now. It
Yeah.
used to be, but
Yeah.
it's not. But then again, I was talking to a guy who played in the NFL who's about, I haven't seen it. I'm not sure he's still alive. He's about 10, 15 years older than me. He goes, when I played they had a universal weight machine, and that was considered a hard workout. That was all they had then. So every sport's evolved as far as the knowledge of staying healthy and recovery and
Yeah.
nutrition and treatment and spending your time productively when you're.
All right.
Okay, Eric.
Well, we have a part of the show at the end where it's called the walk-off 10. So I'm going to ask you 10 true, false, or one-word answer questions. All right?
Any word I choose?
Any word you want. It is unfiltered. All right. So number one, true or false? You've blamed a bad shot on a squirrel, a cloud, or a random
True.
noise at
You don't even need to finish. True. I'm great at making excuses. Yes.
What was your best one?
I don't know. It's the greatest hits. It's self-delusion is important in golf. You need to figure out a way to blame somebody else. Bad gravity, whatever.
All right. One word answer. Favorite club when you're feeling dramatic?
Driver.
Driver. All right.
Yes.
All right. True or false? Pros absolutely judge each other's putting routines.
True.
One word answer. Hardest thing to fake in golf.
Long irons.
Huh?
Long irons. You can't fake that. You best be good.
True or false? You've practiced a fist pump before using it in a tournament.
False.
You didn't have that back then, really, huh?
No, it's like you hit a good shot. I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Right. Most dangerous thing on a golf course besides water hazards.
Well, in Midland, Texas, it's definitely rattlesnakes.
Okay.
On the golf course, rattlesnakes?
Yeah.
How about
Play the
alligators in Florida?
No, they're more timid. Give me the alligator over the rattlesnake every time.
Wow. True or false? A 3-foot putt somehow feels longer than a 300-yard drive.
Possibly.
Okay.
There's my one word.
The most golfer snack ever.
Well, I'm gonna date myself here. Power bars.
Oh, wow.
Do you even remember those?
Actually, in college, helped represent them. And I remember triathletes, you peel the bar, you lick it and stick it on the frame of the bike. And then during the race, you peel it off. And it's like, what the hell is this shit doing in my body if it's sticking to a bike during a...
And they're impossible to eat if it's under 75 degrees, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too hard. Yep. All right. True or false, you've ever pretended you meant to do that after a lucky bounce?
Yes.
All right. Scariest word in golf.
One word. I can't do that in one word.
Well, enlighten us.
First tee at the Masters when they announce your name
Oh, wow.
Okay.
and you're trying not to shit yourself.
Nice. All right. Last one. Golf carts secretly make everyone drive like maniacs. Although we know how you drive, so I'm going to assume yes.
I'm going to say no. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
How often do you see that shit with the golf carts, though, in terms of like people having some accidents, roll one of those things? Does that happen all the time?
Yes. People are not smart when it comes to a golf cart.
Yeah.
I've seen people get carts stuck in places you just go, how did you get there?
I mean, some of it, not everybody's always the most sober on the golf course either, right? Especially
That certainly has an influence on things.
from a decision-making perspective, that could have an impact. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It most certainly does. I have a lot of friends in the business, and they tell me stories about what one of their customers did. I go, you got to be kidding me.
Cool.
Well, Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, I'm really happy you're doing well and heading in the right direction health wise. Relationship, I know since we've both moved, we don't see each other as much, but it's always fun and entertaining, and we gotta have a drink together at some points.
Yes.
All right, I'll let
Okay.
No, Steve, yeah, appreciate the
Okay.
time. Nothing but the best, all right?